Welcome to Ocean County Focus. I'm Donna Flynn, your host and Ocean County's Public Information Director. Joining me today is Ocean County Clerk Scott Colabella. Scott was returned to office last November by the voters and was sworn into his second 5-year term as County Clerk in January. Thanks again for joining me, Scott.
Well,
it's been a while and you've been here before, so I always appreciate you being here. Congratulations, on your victory and on your new term in office. Now, you've been in office now you've been with the county now for 23 years. And what I'd like to do is, I know that you've been here before, but I'd still like to give our audience a little bit of an introduction of what does the county clerk's office provide?
Sure. Well, thank you, Donna, for having me back. It's always an enjoyable experience and a good way to reach out to the residents of Ocean County. And let me take a brief moment to thank the voters of Ocean County for returning me to office again. It's a great office and very honored to represent the people of Ocean County. As we've spoken before, when we've done this, the county clerk does a ton of services for the people of Ocean County. Our two chief responsibilities are record keeper for all of the documents pertaining to real estate in the county. Every homeowner's deed and their mortgage to their property is recorded and on record in our office. And our other primary responsibility is the supervision of elections in Ocean County. And we also are a passport agent for the Department of State. We register new businesses in the county, and a growing aspect of our services to the people, the veterans of our county, which are 68,000 people who have honorably served our country. We can give them a free photo veterans ID card in exchange for their recording of their honorable discharge paper. And we have other services as well, but those are our main functions.
Now, when it comes to the recording volume, I mean, you had sent me some statistics prior to actually meeting today. Over $12 million in recording revenue is sent to the county, and in 2015, your office recorded over 131,000 documents. The revenues that are returned to the county, is that earmarked for anything specifically, or does it,
Yes, a lot of it is for property tax relief for the residents, but generically it goes to the county general fund, but it does assist the freeholders at budget time in keeping the property tax rate down for county residents. And it's an amazing story of our office. We have a little over $2 million payroll, and you take that out of our budget, but we're still handing over $10 million or $12 million, if you will, to the county in recording revenue, which is mandated by the state. Every time a document is recorded in our office, there's a fee to do that. And a portion of that fee goes to the state of New Jersey, and a portion goes to Ocean County. And it's a great, amazing story, and you can it's a barometer of the economy.
Right.
And when things are doing better in the economy, the recording revenue goes up because you have more people getting a mortgage. You have more building going on, and ergo they have to record those documents, and our revenue goes up. Some of it is probably attributable to the rebuilding after Sandy, where we're seeing an increase in mortgages, deeds being recorded again.
When you look at these numbers, are we looking at an increase in numbers? Since 131,000 documents, and I know that that's a variety of documents, but that sounds like a very large number to me.
Yes, yeah, probably about 30,000 more over 2014. So we are, during the depths of the recession, we were seeing a dip or we were staying level, but this is the first time in many years where we're starting to see an appreciable increase in the recording revenue, which is a good sign for Ocean County.
Right. When you're working with these documents and stuff, I mean, you have a number of people that I know basically handle all these transactions for you. Where do I have to go to do something like that?
Okay, well, there's basically 3 methods of which we receive the documents. The largest method is still through the U.S. mail. We also have law firms, title companies that still personally deliver the documents to our office, or we have what's called a document drop box, which is right in front of the courthouse where after hours, law firms and title companies can drop documents in that, be recorded the next day. But a very nice initiative that we've been doing for approximately 10 years is electronic recording, where a title company or a law firm can actually scan the documents in their office and electronically submit them to our office, pay through automated clearinghouse so they don't have to write a check, and we can record it in our computer system electronically. So if you can imagine, it takes out the time of putting a document in the mail, opening it up, and then returning the document after it's been recorded. And we're at 20, hopefully going to get to about 30% of the documents recorded in our office are going to be recorded that way. So it is a major modernization of the recording of documents nationally, but in our county, we're part of it. We do it.
Right. Now, can people find their documents online, though, if I wanted to look up my deed or how does that work?
Absolutely. We have an internet site, which we always let the people know, www.oceancountyclerk.com. And on that site, you can do a property search and see the image of the deed or the mortgage to your property right online.
So that's got to be a great convenience for a lot of people.
Sure.
And actually, I remember you bringing this up too, and we're probably just going to start talking about this and then bringing it into the next segment. But one of the things that you had talked about actually during your swearing-in ceremony was the legislation that's out there in reference to I guess, I don't know if I want to call it scamming but the deed solicitation regarding seniors. Where is that out right now?
Okay.
And how's that working in your office?
Unfortunately, and it occurs probably more in a county like Ocean that has a large senior population, there are private companies that are doing mass mailings. The mailing looks like an authentic government document. And in fact, some of them have a Washington, D.C. address on them. And it urges the recipient to get a certified copy of the deed to their property. It goes on about Homeland Security and why this is necessary. It is good that everyone does have a copy of the deed to their home. There is no, I want to reassure everyone, there's no crisis that you absolutely need to have one right this minute. But unfortunately, these companies say, we'll provide you this service for a hefty fee. We'll average it out at about $85, perhaps $90. Well, it is much higher than the fee we charge to provide the same service. So, and it's happening in other counties in the state too, and other county clerks that I discuss this matter with. So there is a bill in the state legislature, and what it would do is it would require these private companies to register with the state that they are going to solicit individuals within a county to provide this service. They would have to notify the county clerk in each county that they're intending to do this. And on top of that, they would have to list in the solicitation mailer that please be advised in a prominent way in the document that you can get this same service at your county clerk's office, listing the location and at least a telephone number to call. So a senior or any homeowner in the county that receives one of these solicitations would understand, okay, I have another alternative to get a copy if they so desire. And county clerks are in support. In fact, I've testified in Trenton, and we're hopeful we can get this legislation passed. And it would probably make these private companies think twice before they just do a mass mailing, knowing that now they'd have to be required to show there is another alternative to do this. Give you an idea of the dramatic difference in fee. It's how large your deed is what the cost would be to provide a certified copy. But let's use an average of about $10 for a certified copy. That's much lower than $90.
Absolutely.
And you could do that by simply giving the lot and block number and details about your property to our office, and do it here in Toms River at the courthouse.
It sounds like it would be very helpful, and we're actually going to take a quick break, Scott. And we're going to be right back. We're talking with Scott Colabella, Ocean County Clerk.
Hello, I'm Ocean County Freeholder Jack Kelly, and this is your County Connection. Let's go in. Busy schedules don't always allow you to access the many programs and services provided by the Ocean County Board of Chosen Freeholders. In order to make the county government more accessible, we created the County Connection, a taxpayer-friendly service located at the Ocean County Mall in Toms River. The County Connection puts many county services and programs under one roof in a location that is easy to get to, and the hours are convenient for all of our residents. The County Connection gives you the opportunity to learn about senior programs, health programs, educational, and employment opportunities. You can apply for a passport, access veteran services, and connect with other levels of government. Get connected at the County Connection.
Welcome back to Ocean County Focus. Joining me today, as you know, is Scott Colabella, Ocean County Clerk. And one of the prominent things that is taken care of by Scott's office in Ocean County is the elections. And 2016 brings a presidential election, which really puts your office into a different swing almost because of the number of increased registrations, and there's changes as to when you could start to vote and when. So can you walk us through what the process is for 2016, Scott?
Sure. 2016, as everyone knows, and I'm sure it'll be a topic of conversation for the remainder of this year, is a presidential election year. And it's the highest voter turnout of the four-year cycle. The only time the voter numbers go up in participation is in a gubernatorial statewide election year. So we are anticipating, as we're seeing other states vote. New Jersey has a primary in June, and of course our general election will be with all the other states in November, a huge increase in voter participation for both political parties. We roughly have about 380,000 registered voters in Ocean County, and 70,000 are registered as Democrats, over 100,000 Republican, and the balance are undeclareds. Now, a lot of people do not realize if you are undeclared voter, you can walk into the voting booth on primary election day and cast a ballot for president. You just must declare in New Jersey which political party you want to vote for. So we do see an increase in voter registration identification for either party, depending on the competitiveness of the presidential election race in either party. And at this stage in the taping, New Jersey may play a role in the presidential primary, even though our primary is going to be in June. A lot of people are not aware, but a lot of people are, that vote by mail in the state of New Jersey. And in Ocean County, we're seeing an increase in that. And those ballots under state law will go out to registered voters around April 23rd. So we're literally getting close as we're doing this taping, where New Jersey's going to join the nation in beginning to cast ballots in a presidential primary. And we're expecting in the fall a large segment of the population is going to vote by mail. They like it. It's convenient. It's easy.
How does somebody participate in voting by mail? I mean, you don't need a reason to not go to the polls.
No, a lot of people who still refer to the process as absentee ballot. It is vote by mail. You do not need a reason, and the process, you couldn't make it simpler. You could go online to our website. You can download an application, fill it out, and mail it to our office. As long as you're a registered voter, we will mail you a vote-by-mail ballot back. You can come in person to our office. And starting at the end of April, you can come in person to our office. As soon as we begin to mail those ballots out, you can come in person and get a ballot prior to the primary. And if you just call our office and request an application, it's postage free. You don't even have to put a stamp on it. You literally never have to leave your home in New Jersey to vote now. You can do it all by mail. A lot of people also select on the application. They've given you an option. Do you want to receive a ballot by mail for the remainder of your voting tenure every November?
Really?
And unless you notify us that you wish to vote at the polls, we will continue to mail out a ballot to you. So it has really become easy, and a good segment of our population may go to Florida during election time in November, and we can forward the ballot even to their location
Right.
in another state. So it is a very simple process. We're seeing an increase in the population that's utilizing that.
Right. Scott, there's the county election board, and then there's the county clerk's office. Can you tell me what's the difference between the two when it comes to
Sure,
elections?
absolutely. The County Board of Elections, our partner in this whole process, is solely responsible for registering voters. We cannot register a vote. We cannot maintain records on that. We can view the records, but it is solely the board's responsibility to register a voter and keep those records up to date. The Board of Elections is also responsible for the poll workers who actually run the election on election day. When you go in to vote at your voting booth, those volunteers are all employees, if you will, of the Board of Elections for that day. Our office responsibility is for the vote by mail applications and for ensuring that those ballots get to the voter. We are also responsible for the sample ballot that every registered voter receives in the mail prior to an election, for the design, for the content, which are guided by New Jersey law of what has to actually appear on that ballot. But we're responsible for proofing it and making sure that it gets printed. We also, on our website for the election results on election night, we have a place on our website where voters can look at their votes as they're actually being canvassed. And we also work with the Board of Elections in certifying the results of the election after it is done.
So there's quite a bit that goes into it. It's not just a simple, I mean, we see it more as a voter, we see it more as the simpler side of either pushing down a ballot or filling out an application, but what the work of the county goes on and on with this. Just curious, do you think voting will ever go to web-based voting, where you can call up a page on a computer and do it and you're done?
Well, there's constant in this electronic day and age discussion of that. How far off we are off to that, there's a lot of skeptics out there of the whole election process and computer involvement in it. I think it's safe to say for many years to come, I don't see us moving in that direction, but not that there won't be a time. And I'll just point out to you that for our service people abroad, they can now electronically avail themselves of the voting system. In other words, you're a member of the military and you're in Afghanistan or other parts of the world, and the time, as you can imagine, to mail a paper application and a paper ballot to that service person sometimes disenfranchises them.
Sure.
So under New Jersey law now, we can certainly electronic, because they have phones, they have PCs,
Oh, absolutely.
they have printers,
We're
they
all
have fax
connected.
machines, and we can electronically send them an application and a ballot, of which they can indeed return to the Board of Elections. And that has certainly assured everyone who's concerned, because after all, if it weren't for those brave young men and women, we wouldn't be able to go to the polls in our various towns and let democracy work.
Absolutely. And Scott, we are going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more with Scott Colabella, Ocean County Clerk.
Hi, I'm Ocean County Freeholder Joe Vaccari, and this is your Ocean County. Ocean County, we have a lot to offer.
Hi, I'm freeholder John Bartlett, and this is your Ocean County Park System. I invite you to visit any one of our 27 locations in Ocean County. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to Ocean County Focus. Scott Colabella, Ocean County Clerk, is joining me today, and we've been talking about a host of topics that affect his office and affect you as taxpayers and voters. And one of the things that Scott's office takes care of, and I know the numbers often increase for you, is passports. You have a lot of different areas where people can go to apply for a passport, and there may be some changes coming in with passports. So I think the best question to ask you is, in very general terms, what should people know about applying for a passport at this point?
Well, as you say, we've seen an increase in our customer base, especially at the mall. In case anyone isn't aware, we have a location, a satellite office, if you will, at the County Connection at the Ocean County Mall, which our residents really like, because you can go there on weekends, you can go on even holidays, and of course in the evening it's very convenient for parking. We have a location in the southern part of the county at the Southern Service Center and in Lakewood, and right here in Toms River at the courthouse. And if our viewers have seen on television or read a newspaper article, the Homeland Security Department in the federal government is mandating that the states with their driver's licenses upgrade them for security purposes. Real ID Act, it's called. And New Jersey is not totally compliant with it, and there's been some articles that say if you're planning to domestically fly in the United States, your New Jersey driver's license may not be the best form of identification. I want to stress it is right now. It's not going to happen within this year, but in a couple of years we have to be compliant. In any event, I think residents are seeing that and saying, I better get a United States passport, and we're attributing that to some of the increase in our customer base. We are an agent for the U.S. Department of State, and to properly do this, we are asking and stressing to anyone planning a trip, a cruise, overseas or even domestically, if you're wanting to get a U.S. passport, to allow 6 weeks at least from the time you apply, to make sure you don't put yourself in an instance where you're getting close to your trip and you don't have the passport.
So that seems like you've made it very convenient for people, especially with the number of places that they can go to.
I forgot to add, we take your photograph as well as part of the transaction, so you don't have to go to a professional photographer or take your own. We provide that service along with assisting you in completing the paperwork.
Since you do, this is such an active part of your office, do you have a recommendation to people looking for a passport of when is a better time of year to go for it than another? It seems that there's a rush either right around holidays because people are trying to, do vacations with their kids and stuff. Is there any better time that you could recommend?
It seems in this day and age, time really doesn't matter, but obviously summer and springtime are probably our busiest times with that. But as I say, as we're doing the taping now, we're experiencing an increase. So I think it's just best if people will keep in mind 6 weeks at least before you're planning to use that passport. Come into our office and begin the process.
Scott, I know that, as we had talked earlier, your office is just, it does so much record keeping. And I know that there's something that you guys often see that you're trying to actually help residents with, and it's a project that you're hoping to implement within sometime this year called the New Property Alert System. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Again, in the computer age, we've talked about that in voting. We've talked about electronic recording of documents. Unfortunately, there are individuals out there or companies that people use as venues to record documents on their individual property that they may not be aware of. Not everyone goes every day to our website and looks up their property records, either their mortgage or their deed, or if there's a lien on their property. And so in this age where it is so easy to record things and do things electronically, we thought it would be a good idea to invest some resources to allow individuals to register with our office if you're a homeowner. Provide us with your email address and just some brief information, address of your property. And anytime there is a document recorded in our office regarding your property, you will get an automatic electronic email right to your home to let you know, advise you. Do you know a lien has been recorded on the property that you own on such and such a date? And it will at least give the homeowner an idea of what's going on, of something that affects them greatly. Your home.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, especially when you're walking into that bank for a mortgage, the last thing you want is those kinds of surprises.
Absolutely. Purchasing a car, whatever, something to mar your credit history of something you're not aware of. So we're very excited about that. We're working with our IT department in the county, and we hope within the next year, if not sooner, to be able to offer this protective opportunity for the residents, homeowners of Ocean County. And again, it's called the Property Alert Notice.
Right. We're going to start to wrap up this segment too. And two other things I wanted to touch on quickly: veterans' IDs.
Yes. As I said, in case anyone isn't aware, we are so honored that we have the most veterans in the state of New Jersey that call Ocean County home. And several years ago, the governor signed into law a bill that if a veteran has an honorable discharge, their DD 214 form, and they would like it, we're like the safe deposit box for a veteran. Bring that original document into our office in the south, in Manahawkin, to Toms River, or to the mall. We will record it. Now, what do I mean by recording it? We scan. We make a copy of it. We give the original back to the veteran, and it's on record for safekeeping. If, God forbid, that veteran ever loses that document, there's always a copy that can be available to their family, to themselves, at our office. And in addition to that, we produce a photo ID card, which has the branch of service that the veteran served in. It shows they are a true, genuine veteran, and we're so honored. We've served thousands of veterans, have taken advantage of this. It's interesting to talk to all of them, hear their stories, tell them we appreciate what they've done, and just a great service that we're happy to provide.
It is a wonderful service. And we are pretty much out of time, but I just want you to mention your Facebook page really quickly.
We're almost a year now. We've been on Facebook. We're always looking for ways to reach out to the residents, the busy people in Ocean County. Facebook.com, Ocean County Clerk, and it allows us to put things that we might not put on our website right away, timely information, updates about election matters, or anything that may be happening in our office that we want the public to be aware of. So please come visit that site as well.
Scott, it's always a pleasure to have you on Ocean County Focus. Thanks so much again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And I want to thank all of you for joining us today. Have a good day.
Hi, I'm Ocean County Freeholder Jerry Little, and this is your Ocean County. Ocean County, we've got a lot to offer.